Well, I'm actually feeling a bit sad and happy at the same time because Bio in Med is gradually coming to an end, and I know we've actually covered a lot of topics apart from two, which being is nervous and skin protection and care for now, and those videos would soon be released. Well, all in all, I know our students are getting prepared for their research and student presentation. We all know that it's a very let me say compulsory aspect of the biomed bootcamp. So how do you conduct research? And that's what we'll be looking at here. As the student's presentation draws near, let's focus on conducting our research. Is researching difficult? No, my dear friend, carrying out research for your presentation isn't necessarily hard. And it's not as if you guys will be carrying out a full research paper. You guys won't actually be working on, what would I say, thesis, dissertations, those kind of things. It's just for your presentation, so it's not hard. As a girls in research scholar, my first time carrying out a research, I thought it was hard, but my mentor guided me through the process. She was like, no, no, research isn't hard. You just have to be passionate about it, and everything will just come naturally. I studied the implications of AI and robotics, the robotics revolution, in the field of neuroscience, particularly in areas of psychology, neurology, and neurosurgery. And it was something that looked complicated at first sight. But when you calm down and focus on looking at some intricate details, the beauty of your work, you start to discover that with the right tools, with the right guidance, you could actually carry out your research. For example, for this bootcamp, we'll be looking at different things from skin diseases to disorders, nervous system, and other novel topics you could come about. We expect you to carry out a research before doing your presentation because it's important. You can't just say that you'll be working on autism and you haven't researched properly on autism. So, what we expect of you is to carry out your research properly. Things to know before researching. As a researcher, there are qualities you must have, and this includes curiosity. Firstly, you must be curious about what you're working. Critical thinking, don't just look at things like the way they are. Think outside the box. Think, what if not? That's called philosophical reasoning. Analytical skills, attention to detail, objectivity, creativity, persistence, open mindedness, effective communication skills are things you need to do or qualities you need to have before researching and during the research process. Now, let's dive deeper. Before we go into, because in the last video I talked about um topic selection. Let's say you have chosen your topic and you want to research. First of all, you must have a research question. What is your research trying to answer? A research question is a clear, concise, and specific inquiry that guides the investigation and seeks to answer a particular problem or phenomenon. Now, we're going to be conducting a mini research project. We have to look at the research objectives and questions. What do you aim to carry? What does your research entail? For example, we are looking at eating disorders. You could say the aim of this research is to find and explain the ignorance of people when it comes to eating disorders. That's actually a social science type of research objective because you're looking at the ignorance of people when it comes to eating disorders. That is your objective. You could study how many people do not have idea on these eating disorders. You could study how these people are affected by eating disorders and they have no idea about it. That is still your research objective. Then, as I said, you must have a research question. And let's look at all this in the next slide with examples. We are working on celiac disease, aiming to examine how it occurs and prevention methods. That is your objective. Some example questions could be, my research is trying to answer the question, what are the genetic and environmental factors that contribute to the development of celiac disease? How does gut microbiome influence the onset and progression of celiac disease? What are the most effective dietary interventions for preventing celiac disease in high-risk individuals? Can early introduction of gluten in infancy prevent the development of celiac disease? What is the relationship between celiac disease and other autoimmune diseases or disorders? And can understanding this relationship inform prevention strategies? These are example questions that one could look at. The next one is to gather your evidence. When researching, don't just pick things you see. Make sure those things are true facts. Gather evidence to support your work. Where can you get this evidence? You could get it from database or organization websites. For example, when I was working on my environment, it wasn't like a full research. It was just like something for me to know more and for a speech, and it was relating to environment and ecology stuff. I went straight to UNEP website for all this information because I know that from there it's going to be correct. So you have to find databases and organization websites that are accurate, that are legit. You could also check from local and global reports, academic articles. What's this site again? There's this site that gives lots of, we have ResearchGate, we have Google Scholar. Yes, we have Google Scholar, where you could just go there, you could search different articles. And then we have expert interviews. You could interview people, but this is not necessary for our presentation. But if you have the opportunity, please do interview people that are into this, and you could get and gather evidence. The next thing is to creatively share your research. So before we go, here are things you need to know. First of all, develop your research objectives and questions. Gather evidence in the process of your search. Make sure to gather evidence. You could check things from Google Scholar, ResearchGate, organization websites, database, local and global reports, or even interview people. Now it's time to creatively share your research. This is where our project presentation tips come into play. After researching, you have to find a way to actually convey this message to the audience. Then, during your presentation, you also get to have peer feedback. And I hope this mini research guide would help you when conducting your research. Good luck!